All right, everybody, it's your favorite Canadian info warrior coming at you once again through the power of the interwebs. Ooh. Here we are. We're in the truck, you and I, not just myself. It's all of you guys crammed in there with me. It's not very comfortable. The guy beside me needs to get his elbow out of my ribs. But yeah, it took a little while to get out of the driveway today because there was a fair amount of traffic. But we're getting there. Anytime now, I'm going to be able to pull out. I betcha. One more car. I bet. I wish I could turn the camera to the left and right and see how many cars are left, but I didn't do that, so I can't do it now, obviously. So here we go. Come on. We're going to be able to turn there. No, we didn't pull out yet. No. I should have cut this part out, to be honest, but I didn't, and now it's too late. Well, it's never too late. I could go back and redo it, but I don't want to. It's a lot of work doing this stuff, you know. I don't want to do it twice. See, here we go. Now we're finally going, and it only took, about a minute and 5 seconds, minute and 10 seconds, something like that. All right, so today I'm going to take you to a place that we call Marina Park. And as you can see in the title, it's Thunder Bay's Marina Park, and it is spring, I think, officially. April 4th, 2025. I believe that makes it spring. We had quite a storm yesterday, so no, not yesterday because today's Friday. So it would have been Wednesday, but it carried right into Thursday morning. But then we had sun and everything yesterday, and it all started melting, and it's sunny again today, and more of it's melting. So I think that's it for Mother Nature's mood swings. At least we're hoping so. So yeah, we're going to Marina Park. It's a park, and it's also a marina where boats dock. So they decided to develop up the area around it, or around the piers. And let's see here. I made some notes so I can tell you a little bit about it, because there's not really a whole lot to tell, and there's not really a whole lot to see. You're going to notice in this video there's more driving to and from than there is Marina Park, but that's just because, in the park there's, even if I went slow and walked the entire park, it wouldn't be enough for a decent video. So let's see here. Marina Park in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada is a waterfront park and marina located on the shores of Lake Superior. The park is situated in the city's north end, which used to be called Port Arthur, before Port Arthur and Fort William amalgamated into Thunder Bay. Near the downtown north core, it includes walking paths, a boardwalk, playground equipment, picnic tables, a mariner's monument, and the historic CN rail station, which now houses gift shops, an ice cream parlor, restaurant, and other amenities. And that's one place I like going in the summer when the ice cream parlor is open, because I likes my ice cream. And the marina is also known as Prince Arthur's Landing. I tried to find some sort of history to say why they named it that, but I couldn't find a thing. And, obviously the city itself was named after, I guess, Prince Arthur, because the city itself was named Port Arthur. So I should have done a little bit more research into who Prince Arthur was, but I didn't, so unfortunately that's all we've got. So it is undergoing a significant upgrade as part of a $130 million project. This project is a private-public coalition aimed at making the park more tourist-friendly and providing a new tax base for the city. Yeah, parking and all of that, all the fees that are going to come with having whatever they've got there. There's going to be admission for whatever, the art gallery, I suppose, and stuff like that. It's, they say it's so friendly here, a new tax base, but really what it is a money grab. The development includes the construction of 2 7-story condos, which we're not quite there yet, so you won't see them, but you will see them on my right as I'm approaching, and then they'll be on my left as I turn into the park, and I'll point that out to you. An art gallery and a hotel. We have a Delta Hotel there with a water park beside it. And the park hosts numerous events during the summer season, such as Summer in the Parks concert series, Thunder Bay Blues Fest, kite festivals, Canada Day celebrations, and many other annual events. These events are held on the waterfront and are a mainstay for the North Core. The Thunder Bay Blues Festival is usually pretty good. We usually get at least 2 or 3 big ticket names. The first year we had B.B. King. The first year we had almost half of the original Blues Brothers band. We had B.B. King, we had Donald Duck Dunn, Matt Guitar Murphy, I think, Blue Lou Marini. We had some big names here that year, if you knew anything about blues. But since then, it's transformed into more of a rock festival than a blues festival. So, where are we here? We're coming up on it now. You can see the condominium towers on the right there, just barely off in the distance. And beyond that, the Delta Hotel. In 1967, the Thunder Bay Waterfront Project was born of the Port Arthur Downtown Urban Renewal Scheme. I love how they called it a scheme. As funds were made available for landscaping and shore protection for the harbor. The potential of the lakefront was recognized in a waterfront park report prepared in 1975. Since then, development of the waterfront as both park and harbor has been a capital project of the city of Thunder Bay. And so there's the 2 beige colored fronted buildings are there's 3 of them. I thought, what? Well, what did I miss? Anyway, those are the condominium towers, and the darker one behind it is the Delta Hotel. So we're coming in here. This is one of the entrances to the park. Up until recently, the city's only roundabout. And here we come, coming by the condominium towers again. Now on the left. And this last dark gray building here, that's the Delta Hotel. And I pan the camera around so you can see some of the piers here. There's 3 main piers with docks lining them. And that right there is the original CN rail station. Or did I say CP earlier? I'm not sure. My phone's not in my hand now. But that used to be the rail station, and now it's home to a few shops and ice cream parlor and such. Straight ahead there is the current art gallery. I don't know what they're doing with that. Used to be the baggage building when the train actually came through here as a passenger rail service. And then we have the water park there we're just passing. And water garden. And behind the water garden is Bite Restaurant. And at some point here I'm going to pan back to the front. There we go. And then I'm going to park the truck and get out and do a walk around for you. So at this point I'm going to sign off vocally. And I'll probably be back when I'm doing my walk around. Okay, so I'm back and I've got my gimbal attached to my phone and we're taking a little walk around here. And this is part of the Tai Chi Park, this group of statues here. The park was dedicated by City Councilor Peng Yu, who is a local businessman and city councilor, and I'm not really sure, but I believe either his business has to do with Tai Chi and martial arts, or it's something he does in a lot of his spare time. One way or the other, he's involved in it. So we're walking around here. This board here, I think you're going to be able to pause it and read it if you want to. I think I stayed here long enough to get a clear shot of it for you. International Tai Chi Park. And there's one of our plow guys moving around. And I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go over here, and we're going to go to another world, because we're going to walk through the Stargate. You just wait, you'll see. This here is another to the left. I'm going to pan over in a moment. Yeah, this is another monument talking about the International Tai Chi Park, which I didn't actually read, so I can't give you that information, what it says. I'm sure it has something to do with Peng Yu and his dedication of the park and all that fun stuff, and who he is and what he does. But over here, we're walking along, we're pushing air. We're going to turn to the left here. And the camera's hopefully going to do it. And see, we have a Stargate. There's no DHD with it, so I don't know how to make it work. But we got a Stargate. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about earlier, I did do a little bit of research just now on Prince Arthur. Prince Arthur, born May 1st, 1850, died January 16th, 1942, was the seventh child and third son of Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom and Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. He served as Governor-General of Canada, the 10th since Canadian Federation, and the only British prince to do so. He was the Duke of Connaught and Strathearn. So, he served as Governor-General of Canada. I guess that's one of the reasons why they named a city after him. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing anything here about Port Arthur. So I don't know if he actually did anything for Port Arthur specifically, or if they just decided to name a city after him and that was the one that got named. But that, obviously explains Prince Arthur's Landing, Port Arthur, Ontario. So I'm just kind of skimming through the article right now to see if I can find you any information on what he might have done for the city. I mean, C.D. Howe, as Member of Parliament for the Port Arthur riding, was the one who brought the grain elevators to Port Arthur. But did Prince Arthur do anything like that? I'm not really sure. And I can't find anything in his Wikipedia article, so I don't know. I'm still not seeing any mention of Port Arthur, Ontario. So yeah, it's probably just, because he was who he was, they decided to name a city after him, and Port Arthur was the one that got the name, and therefore we get Prince Arthur's Landing out of the Marina Park. So here we are, coming up on the bridge here. We're just walking over the footbridge. I didn't go all the way over. I'm going to zoom in on this art piece here outside of Bite Restaurant. As you can see, I don't know what it is. It looks like maybe water drops, and there is a water park there, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But there's some of the docks still covered in ice and snow. And over there is one of the many grain elevators in Port Arthur. brought here, as I said, by C.D. Howe. Yes, he picked them up on his back and he carried them here stone by stone. Of course not. Obviously, he made the arrangements to have these things built here. I'm not sure how deeply involved he was in those arrangements, but C.D. Howe usually got pretty involved in whatever project it was he was doing, like Trans-Canada Airways, things like that. So I imagine he was pretty intensely involved in the building of these grain elevators. And because of that, there's actually a school in the north end of the city that used to be Port Arthur named after C.D. Howe. A lot of people don't know who the hell C.D. Howe was when they see the name on the school, but that's who he was. He was the Member of Parliament for the Port Arthur riding. And with that, we're almost back at the truck. I'm heading back here now, and there's some people just coming out of the parking lot. They're paying for their parking, and they're going to be heading into the park, so I'm actually going to stop the camera before I get to the truck because I didn't want to include them in the video. So back through the Stargate, back into our original world, and I think that'll be just about enough to wrap it up here. Gonna turn to the left, or turn to the right. Yeah, that's it. Go to the right. If you notice, the camera seems to pan a little bit every now and then. It's because it just wasn't, the gimbal wasn't keeping up with my movements well enough. But anyway, that's enough for that, and we're going to be leaving here in just a moment, so I will let you go, and I think I'll turn you over to Gary for a bit. This part of the park that I'm driving on is named Saul Laskin Drive, and it's named after former Mayor Saul Laskin. Now, I don't know a lot about those days, but I do know that Saul Laskin was the mayor who paid a company to remove all the copper wire, the overhead wire that was laid out for our trolley system. He paid a company to come and remove that, and we later found out that they would have been willing to pay us to let them take it and scrap it. So, I don't know, but to me that's Saul Laskin's legacy. So before leaving the park, I thought I'd take a little bit of a drive down here to the of north of the park, not the north part of the park. This is not part of the park, but it is north of the park. And this road used to lead to Great West Timber, but Great West Timber had a massive fire several years ago and they never reopened, so it's just an empty lot now. Basically an empty property with a few burnt out buildings. But this road also leads down to Richardson's Terminal, which is one of the many grain elevators in our port. And there's a ship docked there, so I figured I'd show you that as well. I wasn't able to get a clear picture when I tried zooming in on the ship. I'm not sure if it was the dirt on my windshield or what it was. Maybe I should have gotten out of the truck to zoom in on it. But I didn't, so, you're out of luck. But the name of the ship, in case anybody is interested in that sort of thing, is the Federal Franklin. And that's her right there. Right up beside Richardson's elevator. Now I'm going to pull over here, and this is where I'm going to try to zoom in on it, and I think this is where I do it, and try to get you a picture of the name on the ship, but it just the camera wasn't focusing properly, and it was probably the dirt on my windshield causing that. But anyway, there it is. That's one of the first grain tankers in the city for the year. See, it's just not focusing. It's probably the dirt. But yeah, that's her, the Federal Franklin. And I'm going to drive a bit more up to the end of the road. And I think I'm still on 2x zoom right now. And eventually I'll notice it and put it back to 1x. On my left here is a yard full of planes. They're I'm not sure exactly what. See, I did put it back to 1x zoom. I'm not sure exactly what this business does, but they have like 6 or 7 float planes out here. So sometimes when you're driving out here, you get to see them pushing a plane into the water at their launch right here across on the other side, on the right side. But yeah, they've got a few Cessnas, and I think there's de Havilland Otter in there. I'm not sure. I don't know airplanes really well. I remember some, but I don't know airplanes really well. I know helicopters better than airplanes. But anyway, there's people out here walking too, and I think I stopped and tried to zoom in again. Yeah, but still just not focusing past the dirt on the windshield. I should have just stepped out of the truck and zoomed in and took a couple of pictures of it, but, laziness abounds. So, we're just about at the end here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around at the gate, and we're going to go back, and then I'm going to go over the overpass, which is the other entrance exit to from the park. And if there's a train going by when you try to go in the way I went in, you can go past that and take the overpass, and you'll go over the train tracks. So that's a way of ensuring that there's always a way in and out of the park, even if there's a train in the way. So, with all that having been said, I'm going to pass you back over to Gary again. everybody again, folks. We're back at home now, and now it's just me, so I should say I'm back at home, right? Because we're not crowded into my house. We're all crowded into my truck, but you guys are all gone now. Or maybe you're still here. I don't know. Hey, so it's a nice day. As you can see, I got my window open, sun shining. I got noise outside, but that's okay. Not enough to disrupt the video. And here we are at the end of another video, end of another week. And I hope you enjoyed that little walk around Marina Park. I don't do a lot of walking these days. There's reasons for that, but I won't go into them here. But I will try to get out and do some walking around in the nicer areas, and do what I did with this one, and hopefully get you some more video of me walking around instead of just driving everywhere. But yeah, now that it's getting into spring and very soon summer, I should be able to do that a little more often than I was in the winter, which was never. So you might get a little bit of walking around in the summer. Anyway, with all of that in mind, I'm going to leave you as I always leave you. God's willing, Daffy Duck willing. We'll see y'all in the next video. Ciao for now.